They say don't come around here with your bling on. It could get ugly for a nigga like Klingons. Fuck you and your flag, I use that bitch to pee on. Type of shit we pee on with niggas that's peons. Used to roll blunts with my cousin from 6th Straight. Used to shoot crap and sell crack like every day. Bottles of Hennessy looking out for my enemies. Never found Jesus, guess he wasn't a friend of me. Men lie, women lie, you know the rest. Money on my mind, on my grind, I'm puffing less. Hanging out with Warren, we on Douglas and Sawyer. He told me never trust a bitch and never lie to your lawyer. Said them red bone bitches is spoiled. The dark ones is royal, the white ones will spoil you, but ain't none of them loyal, Lord. I never heard more truth in a sentence, and still I tried fucking them all. Can you forgive me? Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery, but I remember vividly what these streets did to me. More nights stealing, less nights chilling. The more shots they hold, the better they feel it. Yeah, Lord, forgive me for my brash delivery, but I remember vividly what these streets did to me. More nights stealing, less nights chilling. The more shots they hold, the better they feel it. Yeah, Father, forgive me, but I'm talking my blood pops. I cannot forgive you for your life, it's a blood clot. Half a century still stuck on that needle. This is why I lie and tell the world I don't need you. Shit, I overcame my addiction to weed, bro. It's obvious you love dope more than me, though. 86 Regal creeping up, that's my cousin Nate. Kevin got an 87 Cuddy, so we celebrate. Jody got a Corvette, he took it off a customer. European face on that Chevy, cause I'm a hustler. Headed to the lake, summertime, that's all I know. Swerving a Suburban, curb it, then deserted. Flirting with this virgin nurse from West Suburban. She said she loved Durban, served me after her shift. It's lit, like the Sunday service. Sins of a father, now I'm addicted. Forgive me for my brash delivery, but I remember vividly what these streets did to me. More nights stealing, less nights chilling. The more shots they hold, the better they feel it. Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Lost in Translation podcast here. And this is...
Come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
Yeah, flipping tables. Yes. The Black Man Unfiltered and the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in tonight. We have a fantastic show ahead of us tonight. It's a little bit of a serious topic, but I got my main man, my ace in the hole, ready to go. Y'all put y'all hands together for the one and only R Pain in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, R Pain?
Everything's cool. Yep, not the topic, but it should be interesting.
Amen.
See if we could cover some new ground, make a difference in some lives out there. If they're listening.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm going to say hello to a few people, man, in the chat before we get rolling. Because, I like to acknowledge those who show up early, you know what I'm saying, for participating. We're going to give a shout out to Miss Jamie in the building. She said, people are just, yeah, you better say that again. You know what I mean? Then we have the one and only Lady Navoa in the building. What's happening, darling? I see you over there. Thank you for coming on in here, girl. And she also said, hey, what's up, R Pain?
Yep, I got it.
R Pain, how you doing today, brother?
All right, man. Just got back in, man. BMU trying to put people to work. Shit, man. I'm trying to recover, man.
You trying to recover?
Yeah, man. We just, me and the wife were going for a few days, hanging out, anniversaries, that stuff.
Good.
38 years, spent a nice leisurely 5 days out of the crib, doing some stuff here and there. So, so she's sleeping and I'm over here doing a damn podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trey, where you at, man? I know you got something to add to the salt and pepper shaker, man. Trey, you got the link, man. Come on up, man. We're gonna drop it down. I need you, man. I need you to come on up, man. I know you're probably busy, man, but come on. We got room for you. We're gonna talk about all of that stuff, man. I don't want to spoil it. Because Trey done already alluded to it in the chat. If you're in here in the chat, you can see what I'm talking about. You can see what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So yes, we're gonna get that thing started. R Pain, the topic of the evening, man. Oh my goodness. It's called HIV/AIDS on the rise in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
Who's at fault? R Pain, who you think at fault, brother? When you first saw the topic, what was you thinking, man?
Well, when they say who's at fault, man, I don't want to equivocate. It's a shared experience. It's all dastardly and demonly by all that partake.
Yeah.
Because we all should know better by now. I mean, I was young enough to know how AIDS used to scare people to death.
Right.
I think we might cover it and we might not. Today, the commercials seem to be promoting sex with people with AIDS.
Yeah, just all over the place. Get you a little shot. Get
you
undetectable.
Whatever the hell that means, undetectable. You got it, but I got this shot, so we could have indiscriminate sex. That just sounds crazy.
Man, if you notice, man, they were talking about it on the rise, man. Did you notice that? CDC was talking about the different cities with the multiple AIDS cases that's pulling up or whatever. I won't pull the stats up, man, but folks don't care about those stats.
I mean, I'm hearing it all over the place. I mean, we're gonna get into some of that discussion. I mean, so don't want to say men is at fault or women are at fault. I think it's like in this one, it's a mutual assured destruction. And you're gonna have some videos showing that, right? I mean, a lot of women, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into some of that. So I think it's enough blame to go around.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, man. I think so. So today's dating age, man, to me, it's kind of hard to tell what's really going on in these streets, man. Because when you stay to yourself like I do, I ain't out here frolicking and carrying on like everybody else out here, man. But I hear things in these YouTube streets, you know what I'm saying? And I watch the stats, and I watch people talk about, the rise in AIDS cases and all this other stuff. And they were talking about in different places they had, a certain amount in different parts of Georgia, South Carolina, you know what I mean? That type of thing. Mm-hmm. Alabama, Mississippi, you know what I mean? And Houston, Texas, they running wild in Texas, man. I'm talking about by the thousands.
Yeah, and it's hot. And it's hot. Hot sex is hot,
man. Hey, for some folks who don't like each other, they show out here doing it, man. They out here spreading that thing. You know what I'm saying? They out there doing wild things, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Change. Everybody talking about they divesting and they flying away here, there, and another. I'm like, what's going on, man? Somebody lying, our pain. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Somebody lying.
They lied their ass off.
Man, they doing something. Now they got these young. Here's the thing. It's more prevalent among Gen Z. You know what I mean? It's just like they just said, forget it, man. If I get it, I get it. You know, and right now they saying that the stigma ain't what it used to be. You know, you got people like, you know, what's his name? Magic Johnson been walking around here with that stuff for years.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember this or not, man. We were younger, and it came out that Magic Johnson had it, and this like the whole world stopped. It was like, I can't believe it. You know, he got it.
Oh, you know, I remember.
Yeah, man. What were you thinking when you first saw that?
Well, the first thing you thought was like, you know, he was gay.
Right.
That's the first thing I thought, because it was a gay man's disease.
Right.
You know, and listen, let me tell you, we got all the receipts we know about Magic Johnson, because ain't nobody else have an 8-foot son who's fruitier than the mother.
That's a sweeter than a wet pile of sugar.
How you be 8 feet tall, man, and gay and shit? Get the fuck out.
I don't think gay got no height.
You know what I'm saying, man? Get out of here. I mean, sweet as sugar, man. So you can, you know, there was no bravado in the crib, man. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm sure, I don't want to blame it on him, but it seems like, you know, he might have dabbled and dippled.
Man, or something, you know.
Remember kissing Isaiah Thomas at the court in the half court.
Hey, listen, man. We're gonna get into it. I got a surprise for you, man. I don't know if you ever heard of this or not. I just found out about this today. You know, I'm today years old when I found about this. Arpain, have you ever heard of the notion of a lavender marriage?
I started, I heard about all of it, but I never really delved into it, because it's I know where they were going with it, and I just heard the term, but I didn't really get into it. So.
Yeah. Well, let me explain to you what a lavender marriage is. A lavender marriage is when a lady and a guy marriage out of convenience,
Right.
and one of them is sweeter
Right.
on Sunday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? One of them is real sweet, and they use it to cover it up. Some people like to call it a beard if it's a guy.
You
I
mean
don't know
like
what they call
Michelle
them.
and Barack? You mean like Michelle and Barack Obama?
Hey, you said it. I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
They tell you, shit, lilac
Man.
and lavender, you know.
You know what I mean? So it's one of them things where, you know, they don't want to deal with the brothers, because the brothers have standards. You know what I'm saying? So they link up with the sweeter version of gentlemen. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They say they are a better version of man, because they're gonna be there for them and, you know, split the bills. I thought they want to do 50-50, man. You know, and then on top of that, they'll call us, you know, the rainbow persuasion if we don't do what they want to do. But they marrying them, no, our pain, make it make sense.
See, the trick is, man, is to stop trying to make that shit make sense. And just let the idiots be idiots. You know, that's how I see it, man. I mean,
Right.
well, you know, there ain't no correcting a person who don't want to be correct.
Right. So I was looking at the stats, man, and the stats was saying that it was highest among gay men, and after that, it was the brothers and the sisters. You know what I mean? And after that, it's just it go buck wild after that. So I got to thinking, I was like, how is this even possible? You know what I mean? And I ran across a video I'd like to share with you guys, and it's probably going to shed some light on this situation. So, Arpain, if you don't mind, we're about to roll that beautiful beam footage.
So, y'all, let me just say this. These lavender marriages, they starting to look like a little appetizer. Because, honey, if I can't get the straight man to act right, me and the gay man look like we gonna be all right. Because I'm just not understanding what is wrong with y'all. Now, truth of the matter is, I'm gonna keep that comment to myself, because that's not nice. But it's starting to look real appetizing at this point. They are emotionally in tune. They are going to compliment. They are going to do all the things, right, that we want a man to do, because they are men. It's just sexually they're not attracted to you. And at this point, the men that are supposed to be sexually attracted to us ain't sexually attracted to us because they play too many games. So I'm just saying, damn.
Arpain, is it true that the reason why they're not having success with the straight men is that the straight men play too many games? Is that really what it is?
Well, listen, man. You know, the first thing she said was wrong, that the straight men are not sexually attracted to them.
Mm.
The problem is that's all that they're worth. That's the issue. That so many of them, all they are is worth sexual attraction. They're not worth anything else because they don't portray anything else. I mean, just that little conversation she just had. So whether, it's not that if the man ain't, of course, some men probably are just playing games, but they got to play games so they can play chess with you and the bullshit that you do. Right. So, we're both playing chess, when some men play checkers, but the women are always playing whatever kind of chess they're playing. Right. This whole horse shit that a man is all emotionally. And I tell men, listen, man, don't ever fall for that shit. Right. I know a lot of people talk about this because what they want you to do is be a woman. They want a man to be a woman, and they have trouble seeing men the way men should be because they want to see men look like women. That's their main problem. So that's another one of them. There's so many goddamn problems in the black female community. Too many of them are liberals. Too many of them are liberals. They just, anything goes. If it feels good, that shit goes. And it's fucking them up.
Well, Arpain, let me ask you a question. In order for a marriage to be a marriage, don't they have to,
Well, let me tell you, man. It's not. See, this is the problem.
Count,
Well, the point is, they are having sex with these gay guys. Those gay guys are having sex with these women. That's why they're catching AIDS at an alarming rate. Because they're having unprotected sex with men. They say these men are on the down low, but it's just kind of bullshit. I can't believe that so many black women are catching AIDS from black men and thinking that I didn't know he was on the down low. How could that shit be true? I mean, all the way true. There's percentages, right? But you got they know about every fucking thing else. They don't know that their guy likes a little corn rolling every so often. Get out of here. And they still accept it. I mean, how do women get pregnant? And blame it on the guy. They know how babies are made, but they still open their legs and let random assholes shoot it up. So if they defy logic there, it's easy to see that they'll defy logic anywhere else too. I don't know what happened to you, Lost. You're gone. Or is that me? Anyway, Lost must have went down. What's going on, Trey? What's happening, man? Are we waiting for Lost to come back? So, gay men have no rules. You might as well pop up myself. Am I the one on this? You guys, can you still hear me, Trey? Because I don't know if I fell off or did Lost just fall off. Hey, what's going on, Coach Ferg? Yeah, man. When you come on screen, man, we can see you, man. So,
what's up, Arpain? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What's happening, man? If you come on screen, I can bring you up. Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yep. I'm gonna step on screen. Yeah, I'm gonna step on screen in a second. I'm just going to take care of my dog for a second. Yeah, I see myself. Yeah, Lost will be back, man. Something must have went on his end. So just staying on the topic, that question on what's up with that first video. All his videos went down too. So we'll get it back. This is a kind of crazy topic because I don't think there's any kind of a real answer to what's going on, other than the fact that it seems like it's AIDS sex is being promoted on TV. Those Ugovi, whatever those commercials are, it doesn't say anything about, I mean, it just says you take a couple of pills, take a couple of shots or whatever the hell it is, and you can just stroke away. So it sounds like a tacit promotion of gay and not just gay sex, but AIDS sex, HIV sex. Now, nobody's complaining about that. That's just weird to me. It's weird to me. They don't even end those commercials. Remember when they used to have those commercials about the pill? And the pill, at the end, they would say, the pill doesn't stop you from getting other sexually transmitted diseases. So even if you're protected from pregnancy, you still should cover up because there's other shit out there. On the end of those Ugovi, whatever those goddamn commercials are, they don't even have that disclaimer. Like sticking your Raw Johnson into some infected being because you got a couple of shots, you don't have to worry about anything else. That's just bullshit. You know, it's really crazy. You know, so anyway, man, it's a sad state of affairs in the sexual marketplace, and I guess, you know, it's one I can say I'm not participating in. So, like I said, I don't envy all you guys still out there. I said, if we've overcome COVID, then why worry about it? Well, yeah. I you know, I don't know about as worry, but we gotta. Even if our future is not as long as anybody else, somehow you gotta worry about the future every so often, right? Yeah. You're not gonna get married, Trey. Yeah, that's just not in the cards for you, man. Yeah. So. Yeah. So I see you, black man. Anyway, we're waiting for Lit to come back. Something happened on his end, and yeah. So while we're waiting, I have something for you guys while we're waiting for Lit to come back, just to lighten the mood a little bit and to give you a little thing about that. Maybe you know, just to take a little edge off, a little fun. Now I don't know if this is going to be an issue, but I don't think so. This is a couple of years ago. Let me share something with you for a second. Yeah, what's going on, Coach? How you doing, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just had to close.
What do you think about the topic, man?
Come on,
while we're waiting for Lit to come back.
Hey man, I don't know. I guess that's I guess I don't know, man. You know me, man. I guess
nobody knows what to say about that. Well, so let me ask you a direct question: who do you think more at fault, men or women?
If I had to choose,
okay,
just by default, the way the system is set up and the high rate of single mother-led homes, the woman, because she's the primary caregiver.
So what does that have to do with AIDS and HIV?
Well, if the people ain't being protected, they starting early. And most black people, regardless, ain't nobody using no protection. These guys, like you said, they hang around. Those type of guys hang around the girls. They all be in a group together.
All right. So
they doing that as a team. They go into years, and guys in their 30s now, you know, they starting to talk about they want to have babies. And they out here passing toxic ping around. But I think the crazy thing about it, the rise is from the boomers and shit. The older folk are the ones I heard passing it around.
Okay, so it's
the highest for your age group in any time in history.
But that's when AIDS started, right? When the boomers were of sexual age.
No, I'm
correct?
talking about people are getting it now at an older age, I think.
No, get it out of here. I didn't see that. But you know what? I didn't even look that up. Maybe. I mean, you think because they got older, they say, what the fuck do we got to lose? Why use a condom now?
Well, I'm just saying they still busting it down out there.
When you get to our age, right? You just happy your shit still works.
And they done found those pills.
You still happy your shit still works. That's all that they said. Shit. You know, I'm worried about HIV. Shit is still working. Where's a hole? You know, so
now here's the crazy part with, you know, just I'm looking at Anissa's chat. Now this is the crazy part.
Of course she would say.
But when it comes to sexually transmitted diseases, men typically know months ahead of females. Women sort of, it was, you know, I guess when I was senior or something, I remember it was big about that sexually transmitted diseases. Sometimes most women that'll incubate for months before they know, but in between those months, they might have had 2 or 3 sexual partners. and they don't really know where they got it.
Well, it depends on what the disease is, right?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, once a woman starts oozing, you know that shit was incubating for a while.
Yeah, HIV.
No, but that, you know, usually we say it takes longer. That's mostly the women are mostly just not hygienic. They're just nasty because they ignore a lot of shit. Because when your shit starts smelling ratchet, that shit ain't taking no months. It's starting to smell ratchet long before that, and they're putting sprays and masks and all that shit on there.
Not 30 days.
But there are some men do spread it easier, but women incubate that shit, and women have a whole lot more sex partners than men.
What a lot of women don't do also, and I'm sure that's Anissa, she just takes showers. They just take showers. They don't sit down in that soaking hot, like grandma and them used to do. You know what I'm saying? When the real ladies, they sit in that water. Yes, Anissa, your water gonna be dirty in the tub because you dirty. I mean, not saying you dirty, but
you can shower that shit off after you.
Yeah, but you can shower. So showers for if a woman over 40 taking showers, I used to be scared when I used to see when I was dating.
I want people want to promote cheating, infidelity, and having multiple. You know. Unfortunately, Anissa, you don't have to promote that shit, man. It's just prevalent. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell people not to get married. You can't tell people to wait till they're fucking old to settle down and then to think they're not going to be banging each other out in those years where they're free. I mean, you either got to tell them they need to settle and find a mate to live with, a helpmeet, or a husband. And this is not men. It's mostly women who saying, you know what, enjoy your 20s, travel, do all this shit, and to say that doesn't include getting your ass banged out from, getting your back blown out. It's just a lie.
Yeah.
I say they're fucking around the world if they can. So,
man, I just looked it up a few days ago. By age 26, less than 5 to 7% of Americans are virgins.
I mean,
by age 26.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Is that really a conversation? Is that really a conversation anymore?
No, but what I'm saying is, like you said, everybody's out here running around.
And when you say that number, you're talking about women. You ain't talking about men.
As a total population, of course, that includes everybody. But when you break it down, hold on, my man. Listen, I'm not saying. Listen, most. What I'm saying is, some in our community, a lot of people start out having sex as teenagers. Now they may have their first encounter as a teenager, but that don't mean that they'll get sex on a regular as they continue to grow. But most people have already had sex by the time they graduate.
But Coach Ferg, man, there's a lot of guys don't get no ass all through high school.
But they'll have an encounter. Not saying that they have a relationship.
What does it mean? I didn't say relationship. I say actual sex. You think boys are getting sex in high school?
No, listen, I'm not saying regularly, but they'll pay for it. They'll do something to get it.
High school guys ain't paying for those.
I'm saying from high school to age 26, a dude 21, 22 going to the club and he ain't getting no play and he horny and he got paid on Friday night. He might stop by and pick up one of them.
But now we're talking about, is that most guys? How does that jive with the statistic that a significant amount of men between 18 and 30 ain't never getting no ass? Never got no ass.
It don't mean they virgins, is all I'm saying. I'm saying consistent. Yeah, they might go 5 or 10 years, but I'm saying virgins. Most people are not virgins.
I can see that somehow they stumble upon some ass somewhere.
That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying he getting money, but he might
if we get back to the topic of AIDS, though, right?
I mean, it's always been a fluctuation around the country. A few years ago, it was you go from Chicago, Detroit, Texas, and the southern, Texas area, Atlanta. Of course, that's always 1, 2. It's either every other state and Atlanta, number 2. As far as around the country.
All right,
some states don't hear about it, but
all right. Listen, I mean, from when AIDS epidemic came out, right? When they found the gay guy on the plane and all that shit, right? And it was mostly a homosexual white man's disease.
Pretty much.
Okay. So then, of course, Magic Johnson got it. You know, AIDS became prevalent. We found out that you just can't get it from a random cut and all this other shit, right? And then, he came back to play basketball. It never really died down, but the whole furor over AIDS kind of started. Once we found out that there was a cocktail for it, and Magic Johnson, like so-called, lived, right? And now they have commercials where they pretty much promote people with HIV to have sex with each other.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, hold on for a second. I want to show you this. I want to just show you this, right? Let me just go ahead and play, because this is tongue in cheek, but this is kind of indicative of what's going on. This is a Saturday Night Live skit. So yeah, that's So what you gonna say? I mean, that's how he doesn't want to admit he's gay, right? He doesn't want to admit he's gay. But
yeah. I mean, that's the excuses that they try to, pass around to be more acceptable. It's just unfortunate, but yeah, man. I mean, it's a funny look, take on what's coming, the way the message that they're gonna push.
Well, not what's coming, it's here, right? Again, before you came on, I was saying that they showed at the Vado commercial. And remember they used to have those the commercials for the pill and other birth control, and then they would have the disclaimer at the end that yeah, okay, they had some trouble with Facebook. Hold on for a second. Let me remove this because something popped up. Yeah. They're having some trouble with the whole stream, man. Something's going down. But they used to have the disclaimer at the end, even if you on the pill to stop birth control, you still got to protect yourself from other sexual transmitted diseases.
Oh, sure.
They don't even say that shit on the Dovato commercial.
No. I think this is the feminist democratic push for us in America. You see how that lifestyle is sort of being pushed under the carpet now. And at first it was like
over the carpet, man.
But they started making commercials where two men were hugging and kissing out in the public.
I know.
I didn't see too many commercials where women were like that, but they made commercials of men like that. Oh, flaming, kissing out, and with the kids around, they try to make it acceptable. And some people buy into it over time, like, oh, that's all right. No, that's not acceptable. Then the kids are asking questions. What you gonna do? Lie? I mean, you're gonna have to either lie or be like, hell no, that shit ain't right. You a man, you a boy. You think you could have came home and told your parents when you was 12 that you like men's? The women would have all gained. Everybody would have stood in line to give you a good swacking across the behind.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I mean, but that's the deal, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. Now, Lit was talking about like lavender marriages, right? So he had, If he comes back, I guess.
Okay, yeah, lavender. I'm saying, you see what Nissa use 70% of all cases. Stop it.
So what? What's she say? Which one? What's she saying?
According to the CDC, of course, that's a lie. That's a lie.
I don't know. Well, you know what? Yeah, that sounds like a lot. But if they would have said that most of it is in there, I mean, we say it's a lie, but we got to have a counter statistic.
So
what's the counter statistic?
Man, come on, man.
I mean, what's the? I mean,
I would say this: both races together probably equal white people.
Say that again?
Both races together probably equal the numbers of white people.
Well, what does that mean? Both what races?
Hispanic and African Americans.
Hispanic.
Those numbers together equal white people.
But just because the sheer numbers of white people in America.
No, they take stats of African Americans. That's why we talk about these things, because we talk about the rates of.
They take stats of all the people. They don't just take African Americans.
But what I'm saying is, you can take the African American stats and Hispanic stats and put them together, and they'll probably equal close to the same number as one race or white.
So I mean, listen. So your thing is the CDC is lying with their stats or misrepresenting the stats. Okay.
Of course they'll lie. What are the Anissa, what are the rates for white people?
Yeah, that's the real question, right? I mean, for them to say, and then when they say when we looking at that number, right? This is not.
So our pain, do you believe
The way this is
what
worded,
Anissa
right? I don't know if Anissa took this quote verbatim, because the way this is worded, they're saying out of all the cases of HIV, 70% of them belong to 25% or 30% of the population. Right, that's pretty much what that's saying right there. Out of all the cases, 70% is Black and Hispanic.
Right, together, combined.
Too.
Okay, but then she made another comment, our pain. Say if you believe this, because I know you ain't gonna believe this. Per the CDC, Black men have the highest incidence of HIV compared to any group, race, or ethnicity or gender.
Listen. I hear. It'd be nice to put the section or whatever the report was from the CDC up, so we could go check that shit ourselves. Because I hear so many stats saying African American women have the highest. But see, now when we're looking at it, the incidence and highest rates. Sometimes I hear the women are like the Black women are going down heavy with HIV. And maybe that's because they're stroking a whole bunch of men on the down low, but we got to be careful with the statistics, how we word them. We got to cite the sources other than just the source. What paragraph did that shit come from? What real? Go ahead.
Now I want to ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
As you talk about the numbers, right? You just said you read it off. You just read it off about the cases, right? Make up how much percent? You said African Americans and Hispanic make up what percent?
I mean,
both of us combined are
maybe around 30% of the population.
Exactly, both of us combined 30%. So our numbers would appear to be higher, but race to race, our numbers are not the highest. So that's a lie. They outnumber us 5-1, so they got plenty of those cases. They just don't advertise it as being a problem in their community. They study other races. They let our little people just grow up in that life. You don't see that lifestyle of white people that live that way in the culture. You only see
pull what up, man. Pull what up, man. What am I pulling up? I don't know. Okay, so see, this is facts. I mean, which part of it is facts?
Anybody can get HIV, right?
Anybody could get HIV. That's true, but like I said, I don't have it at my disposal. I don't really. This whole person of like how many people got. We know that the Black community is being decimated by AIDS. Period.
Yes.
By HIV, right? And we also know that the white people have found a way to protect themselves, and and Black people are going to get on board, right? So now they're having sex with each other, HIV masked by a drug, but HIV ain't going away. What's up, Lit? Are you back? What's happening? So I see Lit back. All right. Oh, okay. Whenever you coming, man, you just come on back up. I hope everything went. I don't know if you had a power outage or something like that, but whatever. So we here. So I hear you. Listen. So I'm just saying.
Black women.
I know that Lit has some videos that he wanted to show on from this lavender. Have you heard of the lavender marriage? Okay. So what happened, Lit?
Man, AT&T tripping, man.
That's all right, man. We was covering it, man.
I appreciate y'all stepping in, man. Handle your business, man. Thank God for the cell phone. I can watch y'all, man. Y'all had a good conversation. Okay, man, I'm going to get into it, man, because I think this needs to be talked about.
Did you get your videos back? Or
they're back.
Okay.
Definitely going to stop me, player.
All right.
Here we go. We're going to get this thing back going. I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a rundown on what this lavender marriage thing is, and show you exactly what we're talking about, because I think that plays a part in the role in the rise of HIV, because there's a situation where people are sleeping with people and they really don't know they're sleeping with people because they don't know what's up. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and play this. Sometimes it happens inside of marriage. Sometimes it happens outside of marriage. So here we go.
And we want to talk about the problem with lavender marriages. So first of all, we are not a lavender marriage. We refer to ourselves as mixed orientation. And the difference is a lavender marriage suggests that the queer person is still hiding their identity from the world and using the non-queer person as a sort of beard or shield so that people still think they're a hetero.
And it's kind of a trendy thing right now, and I think they just have not found the better term to describe what people are actually doing. I think in this day and age, a lavender marriage is more of a marriage of convenience, where two people either are like, let's get married because we haven't found our person, or because it conveniently will be better to not spend life alone.
Yeah, but we are soulmates. We are not married because of convenience. We are married because we love each other and want to be together. And there's no other option for us. And also, I'm out and proud. I don't hide this from the world. And I believe that it is so much better for the queer person to be able to still hold on to this identity and say it to the world so they can speak their truth.
I hate when I hear men say speak their truth. What the fuck are you talking about?
What y'all think so far, man? We cooking with cat and grease now. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'd ask them. Are you having sex with this chick or not? That's what I want to know. Are you having sex with her and banging out a guy every so often or not? You know, that's what I want to know, because that's the root of how, you know, HIV gets passed to women. You know, on a down low. So you're in this so-called loving marriage, but if you're still banging out dudes, that means you can't have unprotected sex with your woman at all. Right? You got to wear,
Here's the thing, Arpain. They're saying in the chat that it's not being spread between those men and women in lavender marriages. I beg to differ, because sometimes when them women get the itch, their best friend is there to scratch. You know what I'm saying? So allow me to
I'm hearing this notion that a gay man can't get a boner with a woman there. It's just bullshit. It's absolute bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, he might not prefer it, but I mean, if you could get a Woody, man. That's when they put those transvestite men in those female prisons. It's like going, it's like going to heaven with the seven virgins. You know, if I was them, I mean, all that free boxing there, horny as hell. They don't care if you got tits and all that shit, man. If you got a dangling modifier, they want some. You know, shit. Yeah, so I mean, it's just this Freaky Friday shit. It's just crazy.
They said they're not doing it. They said they desperate. Well, you know, yeah.
No, a man like that'll tell a woman where to stick her finger at. He'll tell her where to find his spot.
Wait
tell her. He gonna tell her.
Oh my God.
Man, he probably like it all. A man can't get away from the feeling of a man. She get the rubbing on that hammer, man. What we talking about? You gonna have the same feeling.
God, what are we talking about?
I'm just saying, man, it's diabolical of it. It's nasty and it's ugly. It just, I don't know, man. When I used to hear about that, man, I used to get paranoid. Like, ain't nobody gonna touch me, man. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna kill her. I'm serious, though.
You know, there's no way that the genie's going back in the bottle.
Yeah, that genie running wild, man, with baby oil all over. You know what I'm saying?
There's no way the genie's going back in the bottle. You know, it's crazy.
I saw that video.
Like they didn't see the P. Diddy trial, man. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Come on now.
I saw this video
now. Y'all saw it like we saw it. Y'all heard the testimonies.
Some of them participated in it. Come on, man. What are you talking about?
You know? Come on. He said down low gay and bisexual men are not the root cause of HIV. Oh, really? Okay, I got some stats that say otherwise. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, go off. I like to see people in the chat go off. It's for engagement, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's but even though it's like almost beside the point, right? Let's just say the point. Let's just say this person was Rondé is correct. Right. It's not like it's either or situation. It's an and situation.
Right.
right? You know what I'm saying? If even the root cause of HIV is out there, and then you got these people who are on the down low and spreading it too, it's not like one or the other. AIDS don't give a shit. It's more AIDS now. You know, so the fact that this is more than that, I mean, it's like, who gives a shit? It's destroying the community.
Right.
And there's no solution to either one of them, other than, you know, people deciding to do better. And it's not happening. They got commercials promoting this shit now.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and bring my main man up. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only leader of the What We Know podcast. Welcome to the stage, the one and only JT.
What's up, fellas? What's going on, man?
Don't get JT started.
Oh, JT.
Looking good, boy.
JT, what's happening, man?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much, brother. Nothing much, man. I had to come up here to contribute to the brothers, man.
Oh, man. I'm glad to have you, man.
Absolutely. Glad to be here, brother.
So far, man? What you heard so far, man?
Yeah.
What you think about these lavender marriages?
Yeah, they full of whatever. They coming up with these new words, man. Lavender marriage. Just what are we talking about? It's
I like laundry detergent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now from Johnson & Johnson, lavender marriage with the new springtime fresh.
And they always try to make it seem like it's this beautiful thing, a lavender marriage.
Complete with his own scent. And then we got his own scent to it.
Right, they got his own scent. When we're together, it smells lavender.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious, man. JT, what you think about it, man? They saying it ain't contributing. But here's the thing. A lot of people saying it's not the marriages that's contributed. Well, it's probably a little bit of both, man, because you got people out here that's not even getting married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they out here doing it.
Yeah, whether they're married or not, they're in a relationship and they're doing this crazy stuff where there's no boundaries.
Right.
There's no rules or anything. You can just do whatever you want to do. And that's a recipe for disaster. That's basically what it is. You know, and I hear some people saying that it's these down low men. It ain't down low no more. It's 2025. These cats is out the closet. They've been out the closet for about 15 years now. It is easy for these guys to sit back and start flaming and let everybody know. It's not that anymore. Women are knowingly having sex with these men. Knowingly.
Yep.
So, you know, we got to cut the bull when we talking this stuff, man. It's crazy.
I got a video that's going to explain that to you, man. It's going to speak to what you just said.
For sure.
So y'all gentlemen, buckle up. Here we go. This is from another sister's perspective.
Black women, what is this thing called lavender marriage? Satan is a lie. Black women, have you all's esteem dropped so low that you're dating sodomites now? That you guys are wearing the same lipstick? Has your esteem dropped so low that you're allowing soy boys that go stick their tongue in their mouth in the backsides of other men that has feces, and we know men poop about 4 or 5 times a day and they don't clean right. So he back there licking and touching all that, and then he bring that back to kiss you. And then he putting his pipe in a feces filled tunnel, and he brings that same pipe and sticks it in you. And now you will probably start breaking out all around your mouth, all on your backside, all in your front side, because you that desperate. There is no way. Ain't no way. There's no way that you guys are doing this. Have black women also joined the Sodom and Gomorrah train? Are you guys okay with this? Because if this is the route you're going, I feel sorry for you. God is angry because this is unnatural. And you guys are getting ready to spread a whole lot of disease in this country. This is a shame. Y'all need to get yourselves together. This is a disgrace. Just silly.
JT. Let's start with you first, man.
Oh my God. That just made my stomach turn. And it's funny because I understand exactly why she illustrated it that way. So it can get to these women that this is what you're dealing with. This is what you're partaking in. And it's sad that oh God, that it makes my skin crawl, man. Just
hold on, JT, I got another one for you, man.
Oh
God,
God.
came in late. We got some folks that came in late, but they in the chat talking. They don't know they doing it. They don't know. These women don't know. That's why they call them down low and all this other stuff. If you don't mind, give me 1 second. And I'll go ahead and pull this up. I want y'all to see for the this is for the class. We're gonna run it for the cardio. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all, let me just say this. These lavender marriages, they starting to look like a little appetizer. Because, honey, if I can't get the straight man to act right, me and the gay man look like we gonna be all right. Because I'm just not understanding what is wrong with y'all. Now, truth of the matter is, I'm gonna keep that comment to myself because that's not nice. But it's starting to look real appetizing at this point. They are emotionally in tune. They are going to compliment. They are going to do all the things, right, that we want a man to do because they are men. It's just sexually they're not attracted to you. And at this point, the men that are supposed to be sexually attracted to us ain't sexually attracted to us because they play too many games. So I'm just saying, damn.
So you were saying in the chat, these women aren't knowingly selecting these brothers. I think the video begs a different.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm just saying, the proof is in the pudding. Now we're gonna come back to you, JT, because I know we had to put your mic on mute because you was over there rambling. Go ahead and take yourself off mute, man. JT, you on mute, man. You just talking.
I'm sorry about that, bro. I was over there typing and stuff like that. My bad. If they're saying that these women, they are sadly mistaken. Listen, we are in these streets, man, whether it's YouTube streets or we out here touching grass. These women are admitting being with these men. That's the thing. They're admitting being with these men. Like what she was just saying was a bunch of bull. I've always maintained this. I don't care if the man is a gay or straight. He's still attracted to being with women. Just because he likes being with men does not knock out him being with women. Mm-hmm. I've always maintained that. That's crazy. It's a biological, it's there. What is it? Biologically imperative?
Yeah, biological imperative.
So now it's starting to show. And these women are actually saying that they prefer to have gay men. You are asking, and especially, and a lot of it is, you will hear out loud, it'll be the younger women, like in their 30s and below, saying this thing where if they've dated a man and he said that he used to date men or something like that, that they would still be in a relationship with him. They're admitting this. The numbers don't lie, y'all. I don't know what Anissa was talking about, but when you talk about when men is leading more than women, hold on. It's not straight men. It's that legitimate, the alphabet man, and the alphabet women. Because those studs, guess what they doing too? They dipping. They done had, before they became a stud and post being a stud, they still managed to have what? Children. This is what it is. So all of this lavender and cinnamon and all this type of marriage and stuff, it's a bunch of bull. It's people that just want to do whatever it is that they want to do, and they don't want nobody to criticize them. And that's basically what it is. I end it there.
Exactly. It's perfect, man. That's all I'm saying is, I mean, we're having a conversation about this situation, right? But we try to say, well, we want to have these conversations kind of lead to some kind of solution, right? Or some kind of resolution. Maybe not a solution, but some resolution, some way to say, how do we get better out of the situation? And I'm sitting down here saying, well, when nature runs amok, how do we put it together until nature corrects itself? Right? Is that a lost generation? Or is it a point of where they have to put some different stimuli from the top down and say, you know what, it's time for us to start getting back together in some kind of traditional way, or the way of life that we aspire to is gone, right? Every man to himself. I mean, right now, sex in the Black community, you could probably make a case in because it's bifurcated, right? In the lower half, you could make a case that sex in general with the people who have no restraints is like the feral hogs in the field. They're just fucking each other, right? Because it feels good. There's nothing else in my life other than sex. Even if it's just momentarily, I can get all the pressures off of myself, both men and women, and tag you're it because you're in close proximity. So you're lucky you get some ass today, And if I get pregnant, well, c'est la vie. I'll either go to the clinic or I'll have it, and then I'll complain that I don't have no more food stamp. And then, of course, on the upper half of the bifurcation, there's people who, depending on what their ideological, where they sit, they're almost pro that, because the solutions to that, they don't want to hear. Right? They, especially if it says that we got to take responsibility for our brother. One way or the other, or our sister, right? So I'm kind of rambling, but I could just see where it's split, because we have a class divide in the Black community. And it's not 50-50. It's more like 20-80 or 20-60-20 or some shit like that, where the lowest of the low are really down bad. And then there's some variation in that middle. And then where you have enough money, you could move somewhere where you could hide from what's going on in the inner cities or in the lower echelons. And that's how it is. And some of us stay connected, maybe through our good works and all that shit. And then some others saying, listen, there's no solution to it, so I'm going to say, fuck it. I'm going to just make sure it doesn't touch my family. And so we got all of that shit going on. We see what's happening right now from our politics. And so sex is a part of that, how we deal with each other. If you listen to Black women talk, I can't remember the last fucking time I heard a Black woman say, I want a husband. They want partners, right? And a partnership is completely, outside of the covenant realm. It's like, as long as you do for me, I'll do for you. And then when that shit goes sour, I'm gone. So that's that's almost the best of us now, right? And then we get some people get married and they want to have maybe 1 or 2 kids, where in the ideological, we're down in the other lower bifurcation, they're having 5, 6, 7, 8 kids with no direction. Right. So we're heading for what? Idiocracy?
Oh, we already there.
Yeah, some people say we're already there. We see it right in front of our face. So I don't know what the solution is. And yeah, you have to, like, for me, I've seen it from both sides, and all I thought about is, I don't want my kids to have the life or to see the shit that I saw when I was younger. Do I divorce myself from it all? No. Maybe the way I give back is how I help my family get out of their financial problems. They're a pretty big family and they do a lot of shit that I can help them with. Not by giving them money, but teaching them how to do better. and then some other people I know, that kind of stuff. That's the way I give back. I'm not out in the streets, man. I'm not gonna be like a guy with a bully horn. Maybe what I can help from the YouTube streets, maybe a little bit of that. But I ain't no Anton Daniels.
Right.
So this whole thing about HIV, we're fighting against the dragon. The dragon is society, and now they're promoting this shit on TV with big sponsors.
That's what they got something to sell, man. Anytime they got something to sell, they're gonna prop it up like it's the next best thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean? It's like you can take this from our pharmaceutical company because it'll allow you to be undetectable.
Undetectable. That's the new thing now.
Undetectable.
You can lie to someone. Yeah, you can lie to someone. That's basically what they're saying. You can legally lie to someone so you don't get prosecuted. That's crazy. That's like having a baby with someone knowing that they have sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, that's kind of cruel to do that, especially if you know that you have, most men, they ended up, I had a friend, he ended up just getting a vasectomy. He was like, I don't want to, I don't want my kids to be born with sickle cell. That's a crazy ailment. Now imagine you got an undetected, they talking this undetected HIV virus that you got, and you having sex with someone unprotected, and then later on in life they find out that they had it, and they know that they've only been with you. And what you gonna tell them? Well, I didn't. It was like I didn't have it.
They told me I took this pill.
Right, I had HIV light.
It's bad, man.
That's crazy.
This is bad.
Let's be real, man. You want to listen, man. Those people play in our face and lie in our face. I don't know why we try to play white people games, man. I don't understand why we try to do that, man. Meaning, they'll make these type of they putting this on Saturday Night Live. 70 million white people watch Saturday Night Live every weekend, right? So they'll push that message, right? And then it'll come right down to our neighborhoods. Pretty soon, you're going to be, I guarantee, what's this? By Halloween, we're going to start hearing black people talking about they want a lavender relationship. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Because the message is when they put out the message, we jump on it. We bandwagon that shit. And it's sad because you're telling probably who should be our strongest, most determined, most visionary to be less than. Continue to gravitate towards against your nature. But you still believe in that God, but go against your godly nature. And you talking about two men, and I did get the lady. Come on, man. Yeah, most dudes 40 and under, they've been walking around with shit in their drawers since y'all was their mamas. Let's be real. Let's be real. We Gen X. Our mamas made sure we was clean. We wasn't walking around. But ever since them crack babies came, yeah, they walk around dusty and musty. And I ain't just talking about the fellas. I'm talking about the sisters too. They don't take baths. They don't soak that monkey. They take showers. No. Sit down in that water after you let Nug and Ray pound you out. You got to get that up out of you as best you can. Hot water.
Can't get that.
Don't do that. But what I'm saying, they don't do it. You hear them on YouTube. Why take a bath? They put too much into taking a bath. It's a trend. I take a bath once a week. Come on, be real. We play their games, we're gonna lose every time. And this, I don't know, man. It ain't even in our nature, man, to be sitting up there, two big hairy gorillas talking about let's rub that shit down. Man, that P. Diddy shit is played out. But again,
I think the shit done came in style.
I'm gonna say this: it can come in style, and that's why I pay. Listen, that's why I go with the young people, because these adults running around out here, they got everything pissy and smelly. It's diabolical. I'll say this: Yes, you see where they were with their lifestyle, they lavender. They had to take their lavenders to the woods. So if you're gonna live a lavender lifestyle, you're gonna have to bump the alphabet community and that rainbow out the way and take your lavender to the woods. How many of you fake fingernails wearing sisters? You crunkly toes sisters go out there into that woods with your mans that's lavender, and y'all create a whole new tribe. You ain't gonna be able to run around in America streets talking about you lavender. You better get out the black neighborhoods because they ain't gonna have it. Because them other colors, they gonna be on you. They be like, no, you ain't having it. So it's nasty, man. I ain't never getting divorced, man.
You know what's crazy, man? They'll sit up here and say that you're misinformed and you don't have all the right information and you don't know what you're talking about. Well,
do your research.
We don't have to. That's why we got the CDC right up here on the slideshow, so you can make a decision for yourself. I didn't have to do none of this. Now, here's the great thing about thinking. You know, some people will take the thinking out of it. They'll put it in a whole slideshow, and you can pull this up from the internet just like I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go through everything. It's going to have the address, the wwws, everything that you want. So you can't gaslight numbers. You see what I'm saying? They got it right here in black and white and in blue in some states. You know what I mean? It'll start talking about the stages of the disease, the whole shooting match. It's got all the numbers, all the stats, all the colors you can think of. So while y'all around here gaslighting people, let's take a look at these numbers.
Let's do.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Clearly, these new people don't know who we is, man. That's all we do is research. As a matter of fact, they hate us for the research. That's the reason why they don't come over here with that foolishness.
Word.
We'll pull out a slideshow on you in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Then they're talking about stage 3 age, and it's talking about by population and percentage. They got it all right here on the map. You know, choose your favorite state. You know where you at. Then they start talking about receive some HIV care, the ones who did retain care, and then they had the ones who are viral and suppressed. They got your numbers. There you go. They said linkage to HIV and medical care. We got the numbers here, male, female, all the numbers right here. They got all the things. So, you know, you can pick out your state. Look at this. Look at all these different colors. You know, you can pull it out of the woodwork all you want to. They got everything. Last 6 months. The whole shoe match, they got it broke down by age, female population, male. They got it broke down by race, transmission category, male to male, male to female, all of that. And even talk about injections from drugs and needles, all kind of stuff on here you want, even by region. You see what I'm saying? Look like the South, the Northeast is cutting up. They got the most cases, but you know, they followed up by the Midwest and the South and the West. So they bringing it up. So there you go. Ain't nobody misinformed. Y'all just don't want to see these numbers. That's why I ran it across the stream, because it's got different colors for you too. So if it ain't got your favorite color, we got green, we got blue. You know what I'm saying? They even got lavender for you. It's
they gonna put us in the lavender.
About colors, you know what I'm saying? Viral suppression, since y'all love how about undetectable. They get all this stuff on here. So I'm just going through it. So when you get an opportunity, you can hit pause on the video on the way back. I'm just giving it to you where you can see it. Since people hollering about they're misinformed. You know what I mean?
Did you make the black one lavender?
Yeah, there was lavender paint.
Did you do that? Did you do that, or that's how it came?
No, that's how it came. That's how it came.
You know what I'm saying, right?
It came in lavender.
I don't manipulate numbers and stuff and colors, man. Straight from the CDC.
Can you put that?
But
link
somebody
in the
is asking. Somebody is asking. Tell us some. How did they get the stats though?
You know what they did?
From what I heard, health insurance is expensive in America. What are you talking about?
Let me tell y'all one thing. You know what? HIV don't care about your excuses, your gaslighting, and you want to stick your head in the sand. It's gonna get you if it gets you. If you go out there having unprotected sex, there is a chance that you can get infected, whether you take a medicine or not. These people can't even stop COVID.
Did you hear what I said?
What make you think they're going to stop that? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Folks right here still taking COVID shots and still ain't stopping.
And wearing masks.
They're making them wearing masks. What make you think they're going to stop this killer? They're not. Because anybody can Google. You're right. So why are you arguing with us? In the stats right here from the CDC. This is what these people do from the Center for Disease Control. These are professionals. This is where your tax dollars and everything else come from. These people know what they're doing.
Anissa, didn't you reference the CDC initially?
Yes, she did.
She referenced the CDC.
Yes, she
That's why I
did.
brought this up.
Hopefully you can come up and explain your
She
research.
and she ain't coming. They just talking, man. They just talking. That's the main reason I'm bringing the slideshow up a little, so they can go back and hit the button if they want to, the pause button when they get an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So hey, it's right. We got 22 pages of this stuff. These people have done their work.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, they have done their work. So that's the main reason why we putting it up here. And I don't know why they don't want to join the panel. The link right here, you can come up and you can disprove us, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
So even with that, because I that's what I wanted to see for the influx of, and this is the craziest thing, right. HIV has always been, it's been a hell of a killer, right. And the thing is that when I look, one of the things I wanted to look for was the demographic that was really affected by it, right?
Right.
And right now, that age demographic is 25 to 44, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's very important because these are, and then it breaks it down even more. But these are the people that are out here that are having sex a lot.
Right. 25
to 44, they're having sex a whole lot. It makes sense because when you're talking about 16 to 23, 24, a lot of men are not having sex at that age. A lot of men in this generation we are in right now, that's not a lot of those young folks having it. So about 25 to 44 is absolutely that. But it also was talking about when we look at the black demographic, right? It's very high. But you know what makes it high? It's because of that legitimate group, right? But then we also have it where it's like with black women, the thing is that they're very complicit in it. And it's hard for me to even talk to someone that wants to disprove what we're talking about. This is not one of those things where it's like na boo boo. That's not what this is about. This is actually for the ones, and evidently the ones that's actually tuning in and they have pushback, they're not aware. So we can make you aware.
And the sad part about it, this ain't something you should be pushing back against.
Right.
It's really not.
No.
And what they do is they get down and they want to gaslight people and move the goalposts. That's not going to help people. All it's going to do is build them excuses, and they get it and they ruin their lives because you want to sit up here and holler about not all, and it wasn't me and none of the people I know. Well, it's probably going to be somebody that eventually someday, if that keeps up. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'm saying. And as you can see, it got it separated by males and females on this screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So as you can see, the female side is a little higher than the male.
A little higher, yeah.
On every category.
Yeah. And see, this
it's that multiracial category is surprising.
Yes.
Yeah, because people
the Pacific Island, the Hawaiians, the women over there look like, they trying to dial it back, but the men, that's the only anomaly, but everywhere else, the women are higher.
Yeah, and the sisters, this comes straight from the government.
Yep.
The same government that gives them the medical care when they go to the doctor and get their pap smear, and they still won't believe it. They do tests.
The other thing also that we, like it says, a lot of feelings wrapped up in it, right?
Right.
You could say that men can transmit, AIDS more than women, but women are having so many more sexual partners than men that, men are catching it from them and even spreading it, but they don't spread it at the rate of a woman being introduced to new men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if a guy he gets AIDS, and maybe he's lucky enough to bang out a chick, maybe 6 chicks a year or something like that, and that's even high. The average man ain't doing that. Different women, he's not doing that. Now, but a woman, an average woman, if she's sexually active, she could bang out as many guys a month as she wants.
But the craziest part about that, though, our pain is that in these communities, these sub-communities, the women are all screwing some of the same dudes, though. So it's even worse that
JT.
Right. So it's even worse that they're going around and they're screwing a bunch of guys, but then they're also partaking in screwing the same guy. You get what I'm saying?
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so it's even at the point as think about the math that it's supposed to be. Men naturally, biologically, should be having more children than women, but we're not. They have 1 million more than we do. That's crazy. You know why I say the math is to the point where because women can actually normally have one child at a time, while men can have multiple. They can get multiple women pregnant at the same time. But when you actually looking at it, 1 million more, about 1 million more than men. That math that should be alarming. Even if we were even, it still should be alarming in that standpoint. So imagine with the not just HIV, but you got herpes and you got a lot of other HPVs and all of that stuff too. So,
well, a man can get as many women pregnant as he wants, but he has no control of bringing that baby to the world. That's a woman's purview.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just you're right about that. But my point is that the math should be that men should still have more children than women. That's all I'm saying. And because we don't birth them, we just
No, I agree with you, and I think you would be more right if women didn't have the sole choice to get rid of them.
Right. That's what I mean. That is alarming. That's the point. That's the point. Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Damn, that's wild, man.
But the numbers ain't lying, man.
The numbers is not lying.
No.
How many Americans y'all think have had their blood drawn in the last 5 years?
I know I have
21, at least age 21 to 75.
A lot.
About 80, 90%. So they always run tests. You know what I'm saying? They run.
And you don't always know what they're doing with your sample either.
Right. They always run an HIV test.
But as soon as you get that hit, they're gonna record it.
Yes.
Hey,
it goes into
record that number now, Saint. You know?
Yeah, on that panel that when you go get your blood drawn, they definitely check your liver. They check your
kidneys.
It's a couple of things. It's about 40 things that they check. And HIV is definitely in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Most definitely. Yeah, that's why when people get their blood test back, they see pages and pages of that stuff. You be like, what the hell was they checking? And it only takes a couple of minutes. They run that mug there.
They be nervous as hell inside those doctors' office. They know what the hell they doing out there. People know.
Yeah.
This number here.
Ooh. So what's the Lord? Damn. We're off the charts.
Fuck that, man.
That's crazy.
You know, we're just hey, listen, man, we're just members of the fucked up demographic, man. It's about we got the worst of every goddamn thing, man.
Here's the thing. They say that we're the ones making this stuff up. They say that we're the ones that are being disingenuous. We didn't do the numbers on this. Somebody else with PhDs and all this other stuff.
I'm a PhD.
Did all of this, the doctors and stuff, these people with these degrees that went to school that pay for this stuff, these student loans, these people did this stuff, and they didn't pull it out of the air. They did it with research and numbers that they're getting back from these hospitals and clinics. That is crazy. Look at this number, man.
It's incredible.
Look at this number. That's wild.
Man.
Let me ask y'all a question. What is different about our community that's different from everybody else's? Think about it.
As it relates to this?
As it relates to this stat right here.
To me, it just shows the absence of fatherhood in the home. To me, that's what I'm looking at as far as
that ain't got to do with it. This is about us not staying married. That's what that is.
Sex.
Yes, we all over the board. We out of pocket, man. Can't tell nobody nothing.
That's right. It's out of pocket.
It's out of pocket, bro.
These rates, man.
Yeah, look at how high this number is.
Yeah.
That's extinction level numbers right there, y'all. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're facing. So when we see people in the comment section being disingenuous, you can't look at this number and try to wish that away. You can't gaslight that away. You can't shame this number away. That's ridiculous.
Damn. So they're saying that it's acquired HIV amongst persons born in the United States by year of birth and biological mother's race, ethnicity.
What does that say?
Damn.
And biological mother's race and ethnicity.
Damn. That's crazy. Damn.
I'll let that thing soak in for a minute. I know that's heavy, bro. I know that's heavy, but that's why we brought this number up here, for people to see what it looks like. It's one thing for us to get up here and say this every night. It's another thing for you to pull out the stats that we did not create, so we don't have to do the homework. Somebody else did. And they put the research in, and that's what they came up with. You can say whatever it is you want to say.
Rondé, see, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't know if that's a woman or not. Rondé,
it don't matter. They from that community. That you see them out there swinging for no reason at all.
One thing men do, they make sure whether he want to live that lifestyle or not, brother's gonna get that HIV checkup all day. Hey man, check me. Make sure I ain't got it. Sisters, y'all barely get checkups. That's why y'all find out too late. And this is a world of young men. And that's why I like to look at the age, because this has only been high over the last P. Diddy years, over the last 30-some years, is when black men were starting to even have a life of that way. Most brothers wouldn't walk around here on the down low and try,
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's up, man? What's up, black man?
What's up, man? What's up, man? I'm leaving. I'm about to leave in a sec. I'm trying to get on the road. But let me tell you this, man. Anissa in the chat, all these people in the chat. I know y'all didn't see what I put up there, but let me put up here. It says, "Stop talking shit and stay in. Don't stay in the chat talking shit. Hit the link and tell us what you think. Come on up and don't hide. Come on in and get you a glass of water." Second of all, I've explained this to Anissa for the last 3 years. Guys, this is Pandora's box. Guys, do y'all remember when I first started my YouTube channel, when I said it's gonna come a time where women gonna start falling in love with gay niggas? I can go back and pull the videos up. I said this day would come. I guess I'm Black Man Nadamas. I told you niggas 3 years ago this was coming. I said, hey, women gonna start loving gay niggas. They're gonna start marrying them. I remember Shushu was on the show. Shout out to Shushu with her pretty self. Shushu was on the show and she said, yeah, gay men support us more than anybody, any other type of man.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's gonna get to a point, and she said, we support them because they support us. Now look at what didn't happen. Anissa, then I'm gonna let y'all cook. To Anissa, she said, where they getting it from? Anissa, the numbers don't add up, baby. You went to school. If 78% of the black women got goddamn AIDS, 13% of the men are giving it to them. They sharing dick.
Yes.
They're sharing dick. It's not a large amount of black men out here giving it. That's why our numbers are lower than yours.
And they're screwing the same men. They're still screwing the same men.
Anissa will fuck Jerome Reynolds on Thursday, and then her sister gonna fuck him on Friday. Then her cousin down the street gonna fuck him. Then in a 19-mile radius, another chick then he gonna have the whole circumference of women getting this HIV, and then those women are gonna start being promiscuous and they want to be sexually liberated, and so they're gonna start sharing the pussy with everybody else, and that's how it spreads. Women are sharing penis.
Yeah.
You can't say 70% of black men got nothing. They're sharing penis. We saw this at the Mocha. Do y'all remember the Mocha Fest in Houston?
Yeah.
Where the men were walking around in their shorts by the pool and women were pulling their shorts down and they were sucking these men off and taking it out of their mouth and putting it in their homegirl mouth. And Houston is number 2 behind Atlanta for STDs, STIs, AIDS, chlamydia, gonorrhea. And guess who lead in these cases? Black women do. because they're sharing penis. If you don't believe me, just go back and find the video. I know the video's probably blotted out or something, but find it. Find the videos. Find the videos, and you'll see that woman sharing that penis with her friend in the pool, and then you'll look over across the pool and you see two women eating each other out. Bruh, that's why I'm saying right now, BBLs, science just proved that BBLs are rotting the flesh in the buttocks of women, the real flesh in their body, and the BBLs are starting to give off an odor, right? STDs are higher in women now. Domestic violence is higher in women now, and our women now. So now our women are beating the kids' ass. Then they left the men and married the women, became lesbians and carpet munchers, and now they're beating the women's ass. They're more violent. I mean, it's bad out here. It's bad.
Damn. What about that doggone DJ? I forgot his name. That messed around, famous DJ, messed around and infected all them women, and then he left and he fled. I can't remember the name of him, but that's what we dealing with too. But I'm not understanding if Anissa is. I don't get where the pushback is, Anissa. I really don't. You already said you was saying there's people that's walking around undetected. Yes, that makes that'll just make it even higher. The stats will be even higher right now.
But
so,
you know what, JT? Here's the
you ain't gonna be undetected too long though. Your ass gonna go see somebody.
JT, here's the problem with that. They're saying that you can be undetected, but guess who can get detected? A baby coming out of that thing.
That's what that stat. That was that stat that you just pulled up. Actually, was about. That was what that was for. Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
You know, they talking about being unprotected and undetected, but guess what? These kids can have it. You know, nobody think about the kids, bro. Everybody being selfish.
At all.
That don't make sense. And the killing part about it is when you tell people about themselves, they don't want to hear that because it sounds bad. Well, if it sounds bad, it probably is bad.
Yeah. The craziest thing is that people been getting around and for decades when they've been talking about have safe sex, right? And, you know, if I'm talking about for decades that you've had people telling, you know, younger folks and even older folks to have safe sex, and the safest sex that you can have is abstinence, right? And then they say, scrap that. That's what people say, scrap that. You ain't gonna be able to get nobody not to have no damn sex. I beg to differ. We're getting to the point where you're gonna have people that's going to be practicing abstinence. This is why you starting to see these robots come out. This is why these women got about 100 different types of massagers. And the craziest part is they got all of these roses and vibrators. They're not just selling them in sex shops anymore. No. CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, Kroger's,
bro.
They're selling dildos.
Myers, yes, Myers. They're selling them like they got them everywhere now. Think about what's happening right now. That and then when you're starting to look at not just the HIV, they got some painful damn diseases out here.
Oh yeah,
that you just got to live with.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it. We've never seen commercials like this. We've never seen these type. And you got people that they started with the herpes first, right? And they was like, you could play basketball and you can still swim and you can still be with your lover. And always when you see it, you can see who they're marketing to, don't you?
And you know what they're gonna say, JT?
2 men, 2 women. We see who they marketing to.
You know what they're gonna say, JT? They're gonna say, you can put this on your lip and it's what?
It's undetectable. It's no way to live
from going, man.
Right.
I agree with though JT about that. I think there are people starting to say, you know what, hell with sex, man. And maybe that is part of the correction. And a lot of I hear some, you know, whether you can really believe them or not. I've seen some videos, some TikToks of women saying they're just gonna abstain. Whether you believe them, and I mean, this might be after they fucked half the world, but let's just say they're not doing it anymore. I don't know if that's the pathway to actually starting to find. And some of these ladies were young, to where you start to find these ladies say, "Listen, before I have sex with you, I need commitment. I need commitment, right?" And that's how it used to be. That's how it used to. It's like coming full circle, right? The shit's so wild and so feral right now. Some people are saying, "Wait a minute, I'm looking at my aunts and my uncles and how crazy it is out there." I saw a lady said, "You know what? I was all fucked up in my relationships, and I realized that every single woman in my life is fucked up when it comes to men. Nobody has a husband. Nobody has no significant men in their life. Just women." And they're all over the place. Multiple kids, multiple baby daddies, don't know how to have any kind of relationship with a man whatsoever. And and when people say, "Well, this," I think some things you could blame on one sex than the other, because there's something about men, even messed up guys, who maybe fuck up their control, but it's a natural order of things for men to be at the lead. That's the natural order of things. Even for women who don't like being controlled because they got some means, that's just a flex because they actually do. They just don't want to live under. Right? They can't respect the man that they could tell everything to, and he's jumping how high. You tell me something, that shit gets boring for women real fast.
Yeah.
Real fast. So that house husband thing, that's why that shit will never take off. Especially you got a woman who's a captain of industry. She's in those boardrooms with those goddamn bloodsuckers. They all want to bang her. Then she coming back to you, giving you money for milk. Can I go get some beer? She's giving you milk money, and she expect you to be the king in the bedroom.
It used to be right. It's beer. It used to be beer and cigarettes. Now it's what's them damn things they sucking on now?
Oh, the fume, whatever. The
vapes and all of that stuff. Now, she get tired of that. I believe that is a big turnoff for a woman to have a man that just has no control and that she has to take care of. I don't care how much she says she like that dude. At some point, she's going to eventually sleep with somebody on him, or just flat out leave him. I can't see it.
What I think the problem is, JT? I think the problem is that women don't want to be married to husbands. Let's just be honest.
They want partners.
Husbands actually take the lead. Husbands have to say no. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Husbands want to lead. And if they really wanted a husband, they would act accordingly. They would actually be chosen by guys who would say, "You know what, you would make a great wife."
That's right.
And what happens is when you go out and tell women to go out, get a job, get your education, you know what I'm saying? Go on out there and get your PhD. What they're really doing is they're telling them how not to be able to negotiate and deal with a man. You know what I mean? There's a certain nuance that you have to be able to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to be able to play well with others. Yeah. And what happens is that muscle atrophies. So you think everybody's supposed to bend to your will instead of negotiating with everybody else. You see what I'm saying? Or trying to cooperate with people. That makes that muscle very, very weak. And that's the main reason why a lot of times they talk to people in kind of way, because they don't have to. You can't make me smile. I don't want to listen to what you got. Don't talk to me. When I'm in the streets in the grocery store, no, you can't have my phone number. All of that type of stuff start adding up. And guess what? When guys hear that, they pull away. And you're left with nothing more than, guess what? These lavender marriages. You know why? Because that gay dude ain't going to put no pressure on you, baby. He already told you he don't want to have sex with you. He probably wash your hair and do all of that stuff. But you know what? He even had no kids and nothing like that. And even if y'all do decide to go into our business, if you have a girlfriend or whatever, and y'all decide to borrow his juice to make another baby, what does that do? You know what I mean? That still don't teach your kids how to deal with the opposite sex. No,
that baby come out as a hey.
Man, they're gonna be like,
that baby gonna be a hey girl.
Nobody wants to, be able to cooperate. You know what I'm saying? It's a skill that you have to do. It's like customer service. Have you ever been to a restaurant, man, and there's a sister there who gives people a hard time? No, I don't want to take your order and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
That leads into that. You see what I'm saying? You don't know how to talk to people. you know, and all of a sudden now we getting laid off. They're getting laid off from these jobs, corporate jobs or whatever. Talking about DEI and AI, all the little I's replacing them because y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem. See, guys know how to talk to women to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? They're going there and talk that sweet talk to them, be like, baby, let me tell you what you need to do, baby. Let me talk to you. Let me rap a taste to you right quick. Men know how to be accommodating. But if you ask me, I don't think women have learned that. You know, back in the day, Arpain, if a woman wanted to holler at you, what she'll do? She'll do what? She'll make a sweet potato pie for you. You know what I'm saying? She'll cook for you. They used to have all these little sayings, wait till a man's heart is through his stomach and all this other stuff, you know? And you would actually have to do something to gain the favor. But now these women ain't trying to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? And they have forgotten the art of how to be feminine. And it's showing in business and in private affairs.
Damn. I'm just listening to what you're saying, and I'm just reflecting on people that I actually observe, people that's like family members, people that I've, walked this earth with. And man, yeah, the women are lost, the men are lost. But when I say that demographically, oh man, these young folks, man, I'm talking about young adults, and they're still procreating. So it's just going to be at a point where, like, we used to be able to see where a person was missing something, right? So it was very easy for us to see when a young man is missing a male figure in his life. You know what I'm saying? He don't have to be flimsy or nothing like that, but we can see he's effeminate in his ways. He's quick to argue and when things don't go his way, he throws tantrums. So we be like, you used to be able to identify that now, but it's so many of them now where you got two whole generations of men that act just like women that act like men. And it's crazy because it's all cross-contamination now, right? You got a bunch of women that act, and I say act like men that act like women. They all act immature. They can be anywhere from 16 years old all the way up. There's no reason why a 16-year-old should be acting unreasonable, right? This is when you're 16 years old, guess what you're trusted with? A vehicle. You're trusted. They give you licenses. You get a job. You can go out here because this is where you start to learn how to reason even better. They don't have any skills. So imagine us talking about being able to refrain themselves from this thing called having sex. Once they get it, it gets even worse now for them, right? Because they have children. And now they're acting the way that they're acting while being someone to teach a child. And you get what I'm saying? And the only thing we ain't had nobody, even in our days, did anybody even tell us about sex and relationships? And I'm talking about as a mass, right? I had my parents individually talk to me about it, and they did the best that they could. But my friends didn't have that. My cousins didn't have what I had. So I'm saying we, because when I'm listening to the adults that's even my age, man, you know how bad it can be where you screwed up the majority of your adulthood, and now you're my age. What you going to talk about? Trying to get your life better? Where we at right now, if you ain't got it, it's a done deal for you. So imagine you got adult children that's doing better than you, but that probably ain't saying nothing about their growth because you've been fucking up all your fucking adulthood. They ain't listening to you. That's mothers and fathers. These kids, these young ladies ain't hearing shit what they mama saying. In fact, by the time they get to be 18 years old, they're arguing with their mama. By the time they're 25 years old, they done probably had a fist fight with their mama. By the time they're 30, they ain't even talking to their mama. And they done had one man after the next and came in. 3 baby fathers, 4 children. This is how that shit happens. Now we got to deal with this fucking epidemic that should have been taken care of a long time ago all over again. And we got people sitting here, that ain't true what y'all saying. You better act like it is. You better act like it is, because guess what's about to happen? You ain't gonna have no people. I can put this on everything. If we keep up with what's happening right now, you're gonna have commercials on them trying to get people to get together. It's gonna be a generation that's gonna say, fuck I'm not fucking no human being. I'm not fucking. I'm about to go get me one of these AI damn dials over here, and that's my girlfriend. I can program her to do what the hell I want her to do. And when that happens, let me tell you something. That's a whole different type of a war. We as human beings ain't shit you can say anything about. What you gonna have some experts on it? Look at what we dealing with right now. Look at the effeminate young men that we have right now. We ain't never experienced this type of shit before. But you had people 30 and 40 years ago saying that this is what's going to happen. We wasn't trying to listen before. You had hard-headed ass people like Anissa. I'm just fucking with you, Anissa. But you had these hard-headed ass adults that didn't want to listen. When you had the actual people that was telling them this is going to happen. All the shit that we say that can happen, people sit there and laugh at us. Bro, it's going to be a time where human beings are going to be begging other human beings to fuck. Y'all just get together and fuck. And people don't think that that's an epidemic right now. Look at what we just talked about. HIV. We're talking about the relationships between women and men. We're talking about the sexuality. We're talking about people. It's going to be a time where people just going to say, I'm not fucking. I don't give a damn what it is. I'm not fucking. Not no human being. Ugh, yuck, ew. Is that a real pussy? I'm not fucking with that. That shit bleed once a month, piss all day. I am not fucking with that. I heard what comes out of that thing.
That's crazy. You laughing. But that shit. I've heard that conversation. You laughing. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is this, JT, you absolutely right, man, because the problem is people like to stick their head in the sand. Let me tell you how bad it is. When was the last time we had a war? They don't have enough men to make war. That's the reason why they got Trump on an airplane going from nation to nation negotiating. You know what I'm saying? They got drones out here blowing each other out of the sky. You know, we're in the middle of a war. You know what I'm saying? And they shooting drones at each other. That's not war. You just tearing up stuff and buying more stuff. You know what I'm saying? That right. Ain't nobody tearing up nothing. They just running planes into each other. We could probably be in the middle of war and wouldn't even know it because we don't have enough people, enough soldiers to go out there and fight. And you know what the killing part about it? It's not just an American thing. This is a world.
It's a world thing.
Yep. Yes. So don't feel like we picking on American women and American men. It's a lot of this behavior being able to be spread out over the whole world. And that's the reason why they're trying to get people to just say, hey, look, y'all need to get this right. They got some countries who are importing men saying, hey, look, if you could, marry one of our women, we'll give you somewhere to stay. We'll give you a job, just create a family. Because think about it. They wouldn't have any tax dollars to keep their economy going. They wouldn't have laborers. And the killing part about it is if that's happening in smaller countries, what makes you think it's not going to happen here? That's the main reason they're trying to bring manufacturing here so they can put people back to work. Well, guess what? Folks ain't trying to work no more because the incentive is not what it used to be. Right. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Arpain will tell you back in the day, if you wanted to impress a girl, you would have to go get a real man's job. You know what I'm saying? You would have to go to school, you know what I mean? And make something of yourself or go to trade school, you know what I mean? And probably work 2 or 3 jobs to be impressed enough to have a woman of quality to have your children. You see what I'm saying? Whether it be going to the military or going into the private sector. And then on top of that, they want to say that they want this whole love thing like their grandma used to have. Well, guess what? Back in the day when men went to the military, they had enough money so those women could stay at home. It was when these white folks and these white women said, you know what? I don't like the fact that these black women can stay at home and not work and raise their kids because they ain't raising our kids no more. So they created some black codes that said black women had to go to work. Black women weren't going to work like that for real. And making it seem like these women right here talking about you need to get your degree and go to school and get your PhD. They wasn't doing that for real like that. Those women were staying at home and raising their kids. And what happens is when propaganda gets a hold of you, they'll say that you don't need no man, you get your degree. But the problem is that those other women didn't tell you that they were forced out of the homes by the law. Black codes, look it up. Look it up. They were forcing black women out of their homes because they were getting paid and they were forcing them to work. And what they did was they turned right back around and told this lie to make it seem like it was a good thing. So you can stay out here working while they stay at home with their kids. They flip-flopped the game. If you think I'm lying, look it up. It's called the Black Codes. You'll see and around about the 50s and 60s when they had war, they would actually send them out. Our pain, am I not right? Is that what happened? Go ahead, put the mic because I can't hear you, man.
Yeah, that's my mic. Yeah, I heard about that.
I just seen a documentary on it.
I didn't go into the whole details, but I heard that they made black women, if, at the very least, go to their houses and clean them up and watch their kids and all that. They made them. There was some kind of law. I didn't really dig into it, but it was true. Like I said, there's a whole laundry list of shit that happened right around the Civil Rights Bill. All kinds of stuff that happened that made us to put us in the position that we are now. And unfortunately, it sounds like it's crazy, but it's not equal among who's to blame, right? Because they use the black woman as a conduit to put all of this shit out in there, up to and including the rejection of their men. And they were just so many of them were just all too willing to do that. Now, listen, and it's not so real. Here's the one thing I can understand. A man who can't take care of his family is a miserable fucking guy to be around.
Hell yeah.
Not just for blacks, but it's true. Yeah. And if you offer somebody, money might just be a little bit less than what he could make out there on the street, but you don't have to put up with the fact that he feels broken. It's like one of those Faustian deals. You get rid of him, and I'll give you a check. And you deal with it. It ain't enough for you to thrive, but it's enough that you don't need him back.
Right.
Except to bang you out one more time, maybe give you another kid so we'll sweeten the pot. So
I found the video, Arpain. I found the
video. I'll be right back, fellas.
Go ahead. Here we go.
Just remembering the time that white women were so lazy, they couldn't be fucked to do their own housework. So instead of them letting black women have the same luxury of being able to stay home and care for our families as we hadn't been able to do for at least a couple 300, 400 years before this point, they made laws. They had their men make laws and legislation to force us to work because, again, their men were also too insecure to contend with the idea that black men would ever pull in the same amount of money as them or be just as valued for the labor that they were contributing to the workforce. That's right. As with most instances, when left to our own devices, black people actually found ways to thrive, and we didn't have to be forced into servitude in order to desire to work. Many black men were entering the military for the means of trying to integrate into society, try to contribute back to this country, even though the country had given nothing to them, trying to make money to care for their families and maybe gain a foothold in the world after being born a generation outside of forced servitude. And some of them even experienced slavery firsthand. They didn't have to be forced. They actually wanted to. They signed up for the military, were trying to fight for their country and provide for their wives and children back home. And because the government was actually allowing this and, giving them a little bit of money, because they were giving them an allowance that was going back home to their wives, the black women back home now had enough money to be able to quit these harsh domestic roles in other women's homes and take care of our own families and start building our own home. Well, the disgruntled Wahite people couldn't have that, because that would mean leveling the playing field. That would mean that black folks would have a fighting chance to actually start to gain some leverage in society and, you know, start rebuilding or building for the first time our own communities and, you know, being self-sufficient, which looked a little bit too much like equality to them. That was a little too much humanity for these beasts of burden. So if you see here, basically it says, and I gotta get close, y'all, because y'all know I can't see. But basically it says, Negro women to be put to work, a city ordinance will be passed requiring them to be regularly employed. That is because since these women were now getting allowances from their husbands' hard work and labor in the military, they were now able to focus on themselves and focus on their own family. So for the first time, black women had the luxury of choice and being able to choose to do for themselves. And they did not, obviously, want to spend 16 plus hours in some other motherfucker's house taking care of them. They were choosing to stay home and take care of their own homes. So they had the audacity, black women had the audacity for the first time in forever to actually say, no thank you, I actually don't want to work for a half a penny every 24 hours. I'm gonna stay home and take care of myself and my kids with the money my man is making. So not only were these women exercising autonomy for the first time in ever, but they were actually able to do what the white women were doing. And not only that, white people had to do their own work for the first time. So what did these Wahite women do? These Wahite men and women, but mostly the women do? They complained so much that they forced the government to force black women to get back in their houses, their homes that they should have been caring for, and cook and clean. And it's crazy because if history had taught them anything, it is that black women in proximity to white men means that those white men are going to take advantage of those black women. So you were literally imagine being so lazy that you would rather, I'm sorry, I had to gather my thoughts because this is incomprehensible to me, but I also have to remember that a lot of these women didn't even like their own husbands, so I guess they figure the less I have to do for him, the better. But imagine being so lazy that not only are you not willing to clean and care for your own house and children, you are willing to allow your husband to cheat so you can have the luxury of continuing to not care for your own household. Because let's keep it 100%. Most of the time, the black women that were entering these households as domestic workers were also mistresses. Or if they weren't mistresses, they were being assaulted and SA'd on a regular basis. Because these lustful monsters were preying not only on their labor, but on the proximity to their subservient bodies and felt like they were owed access to these black women. So yes, more often than not, these husbands, fathers, brothers, uncles, etc., that y'all were forcing black women in proximity to were also trying to screw us. Because you don't want to do your own housework, bitch. Like, what?
R-Pain, we got 2 minutes, man.
No, I hear her. I mean, I have nothing to add. I mean, I think she went off the rails a little bit there, but some of that is really true. Right. But I think the servitude part, but I really didn't dig into it. I would need to see the legislation itself.
Gotcha.
But I believe it happened because I heard it before. I didn't need her to say that. But yeah, so you put women in proximity to guys who think they have privilege, they are gonna get touched. That's just the way that shit is. So I believe some of it, but that shouldn't have been the main point and focus of that whole thing. That's the bad part of it. But I'll just end it. The fact that they had legislation in the first part was the first devilish shit.
Right. Coach Ferg.
Man, look, man, that's a crock of shit video, man. Everything that she said was mischaracterized, man. What are we talking about, man? White women went into factories during the wars. They realized they didn't want to do that hard work. Black women have never had to ask for permission or be forced to go work. They've always worked and contributed Always. My grandmother passed away in 1972 with $40,000, almost $50,000 cash. Nobody forced them to work. That's what's part of the unification of it. They funded out everything together as a unit. I don't like listening to young people when they talk about history, man. They probably never read a history book or a civic book, so it's just hard for me. You know what I'm saying? Because again, man, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just
yeah. When I thought about it, I thought about that episode with Florida Evans and on Maude, and James Evans had to come snatch up out of the house. That's what I was thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's a good show. We got to get up out of here because we ran out of time. I appreciate y'all for coming out. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit subscribe. Make sure you guys share, do all the things. Make sure you guys hit the Black Man Unfiltered Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Make the whole show go. And we appreciate you guys for coming out. Thank you and God bless. Good night.